the United States. Did you know that? Know your history, folks. Why don't we just name New York? Because it's offensive. He owned more slaves than anybody. Oh, should we mention the indentured servants? Do you know what that is? White people were slaves. Did you know that? There's so many things that just irk me. I'd like to use it. Yes, I am on my soapbox today. That's true. But this is offensive to me. Removing the plaque of our founding father of the United States of America. What in the world? They took the plaque down? Because a few visitors may feel unwelcome? Maybe somebody in the pew felt unwelcome? Really? Why don't you go to Afghanistan? Why don't you go someplace else where rights are not there? Dear Lord. You say, maybe you're making too much of a plaque. Maybe it's not a big deal. I think it's because of what it's become. To me, it's history. To me, it's a place where George Washington came to worship. That our founding father thought enough to worship, to come and ask God for direction for our country, and thank God he did. The removal of God in the public square, the removal of Jesus and Joseph and Mary and all these figures of the Bible, these things were elevated. They were necessary ingredients to building our country. I'm ashamed. At First Church, they considered only removing Lee's plaque because of his association with the Confederacy, but ultimately decided on both plaques. So the statement acknowledges some friction behind the debate about the plaque, but the decision to remove and relocate them was unanimous. So what else went into the decision? The leaders emphasized the fact that their church was a sanctuary for Christians, not a museum, which makes it difficult to explain why there are plaques honoring Lee and Washington. So because the sanctuary is a worship space, not a museum, there is no appropriate way to inform visitors about the history of the plaques or to provide additional context except for in-person tours provided by someone else. So the church, the leaders, unanimously decided that the plaques created a distraction in their worship service, in their space, and might alienate some. So there you go, folks. Washington began attending the church, by the way, in 1773, while Lee began attending when he was just 3 years old. And the plaques were erected in 1870, just 2 months after Lee's death. Dear God. Weigh in on Facebook at For the People Show. Let me know what you think. Your comments are always appreciated. For the People Show. And if you'd just like to access forthepeopleshow.com, you can find on our About page all our social media sites on Facebook, Twitter, and what else do we got? Yeah, YouTube. We got that too. We're on YouTube. So we just definitely realize that these symbols tell a story. And there's plenty of placards, by the way, in churches for people that dedicate the pews, that have built the churches, and a lot of them have passed on to glory. So we take those down because it offends people because they're dead, or perhaps they were sinners and they did something wrong in their life that you don't like. What might that be? Everybody's offended. So what do we support? What we don't support. More of the PC, folks. You know it to be true. Pray for this country, folks, trying to take away our American heritage. And to me, again, it's a sad day, but I believe that if we allow this to continue in this climate, folks, there'll be nothing left. Absolutely no reminders whatsoever. It'll be kind of like, interesting, what ISIS is doing in the Middle East. They're dismantling churches. They're killing Christians, and big genocide over there. Statues, removing them. Any figures of Christianity. Anything they can get their hands on, destroying it. So there's no reminder that anybody else did anything great, that anybody else had any participation, form, did anything before them. I don't know about you, but I like history. I don't like all of history, but it's our history, and we all share it. And it's the struggle that I talk about that brought us here. Folks, there's a lot of great history and a lot of great struggles and fights that brought us to a place in history where we can vote, where we can get involved in the process. We have freedom of speech. I think some people, they spout off way too much from ignorance, but we've always had ignorance. It just seems like there seems to be an increase. That's another conversation. But I would continue talking about your American heritage with your loved ones, with your kids. Pass down the stories. Buy a history book this holiday. There's a lot of really good ones. Brian Kilmeade has a bunch of history books out on different presidents. Bill O'Reilly has a bunch of them as well. And about the Confederacy, the Founding Fathers and their life and what they brought to the table, so to speak, and to understand a little bit what the mindset was back then. The mindset was a lot different in a lot of perspectives, and they spoke a heck of a lot differently than they do today. Much more eloquent, much more sure in resolve. They use words like that, resolve. I just love reading the writings of our founding fathers. Love the Declaration of Independence. Read it. Know it. Understand it. This program used to sell the actually Declaration, for a couple bucks. But you ever read the Declaration of Independence? It's yours. Read it. Catch up on it. Be proud of it. I'm not proud of what this church did. It might make a few people feel better, but I think it's enormously disrespectful for the people who built this country, who sacrificed their lives so we could have freedom. But they continue doing this all over the United States. They need to be stopped, folks. We need to have conservatives like you stand up and get involved. One way is to get behind this program. If you're not a supporter, we're asking for your support today. Listener supported, for the people, on the air for you each day right here on this station. We'll be back.
We'll help you survive this thing called life. We're for the people, for the people, for the people is there.
It's unlike anything you've ever been through in your life, man. I was driving. This kid threw a grenade at us and went right over our vehicle. It was 12 years old.
The shockwave went through my head, rattled up my brain, and left.
Danger is around you 360 degrees at all times, and you can't unlearn that.
It's impossible to describe the sacrifices these men and women have made to protect our freedoms. And the job of rebuilding their lives is massive and growing every day. Many will need the programs offered by the Wounded Warrior Project for years to come.
I didn't know what PTSD was. All I knew was I was having nightmares. And when I got released, my reintegration was go check in at the VA, man.
My first coping mechanism was use drugs. Just numb it. Don't feel anything.
I was angry. I'm trying to pull myself out of that right now.
Your gift today of $19 per month will honor and empower these veterans so they can aid and assist each other.
The Wounded Warrior Project is a life raft
I can say this without question that I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for it.
Wounded Warrior Project is the first step, getting back out into the world and reforming yourself outside of the service.
Call or go online with a pledge of $19 a month. You'll receive this Wounded Warrior Project blanket, and your gift will provide critically needed programs that rebuild lives.
That was my first feeling of actually being a part of something bigger than myself again.
Well, I lost a few really close friends overseas, and if I quit, I'm going to let them down, and I'm not about to do that.
I'm learning to face my fears head on. To trust and see what happens at the end.
It's a long process, but I had the drive and desire.
Please call or go online with your gift right now.
For the people is there.
Your American heritage. Sure enough, two lights gleamed through the mist. The silversmith mounted his skittish little mare and spurred her down the cobblestone streets, her hooves sparking the flames of freedom. Lanterns were lit in his wake as he galloped into Lexington and then conquered, alerting the colonists with his cry, "The British are coming, the British are coming!" And next day, come they did. Red coats against the springtime greenery as the alerted Minutemen took quiet aim from behind stone walls and then fired those shots heard round the world. And a nation was born thanks to that midnight ride of Paul Revere. This has been Don Keyes with that story written in letters of hammered silver, another page in Your American Heritage.
Tune in for Your American Heritage each day right here on this station, brought to you by For the People.
Introducing the official For the People coffee mug featuring the colorful red, white, and blue For the People logo with Keith Allen on a ceramic 11-ounce coffee mug, perfect for any hot beverage of your choice. This mug is a great reminder of what we stand for: God, country, and family, with conservative values and good old-fashioned common sense. To order your For the People coffee mug, pay just $20 plus $3.99 shipping and handling at forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com. And enjoy.
With all the choices out there to enjoy some entertainment, wouldn't it just be nice to have something that didn't cost an arm or a leg? I found something that does just that. It's called 123 Ready TV. It's one of the most remarkable apps available to start watching all of those movies and TV shows for one incredible price, just $19.99. And that's a one-time only price. Recap: all your movies, current and classic, and sports and news, and so much more. So cut the cable and stop spending money at the movies when you can truly have it all at your fingertips. No commercials, just all the entertainment you desire. 123 Ready TV is available for Windows and all Android devices. Get your 123 Ready TV for just $19.99 at forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com. Just click on the store page to get yours now and start enjoying entertainment the way it was supposed to be. Fun.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate online at carsforkids.com. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll get a vacation voucher and maximum tax deduction.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
It's For the People and on the air with your daily infusion of common sense. Yes, it can be found here. I'm your host, Keith Allen. Let There Be Light. That was a movie that ranked number 2 this weekend. If you haven't checked out the marquees, that was a film in the number 2 position nationwide in its debut in theaters. And beating out star-studded debuts by George Clooney, Tyler Perry, and Amy Schumer, according to Box Office Mojo. The movie executive produced movie by Fox News, the host Sean Hannity. He directed it. We had actor Kevin Sorbo. It attracted 5,071 per screen, over 373 screens this weekend, only behind the horror flick, was it Jigsaw? It debuted making $525 per screen, while debuting at